Okay, so this is the second part of the video, and if you remember, we were talking about the different ways you can represent a number. And the purpose of this is for students to see and understand a number in a really deep way. So for them to understand the value of each digit within a number. So once I told you before, I love these guys over here because the students can actually put them together and take them apart. And something else, and I'm going to erase, that I asked them to do, and this is actually more complicated. Sometimes I give them a number like this and I tell them, okay, so this is 2 tens and 4 ones, and then I ask them, can you make this number in a slightly different way? Instead of 2 tens, maybe using something different? And so what I'm trying for them to understand is that they can actually take the tens apart. Like they can take this one apart. And now I have 1 10 and 14 ones, but it is still the number 24. So this one is, and then at the beginning they go, no, because I only see 1 10. Oh, my 10. I only see 1 10. I was like, okay, but there is another 10 hiding. Where's the other 10? And they go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There is another 10 over there, but it's broken apart. It's not in one stick. But there is still a 10 over here. And they go, oh, and even I can also take this one apart. And this is still the number 24, but now I have 24 ones. And still the number 24. 2 tens and 4 ones, 1 10, 14 ones, 24 ones. They are all the number 24. Why are we doing this? Because you will see eventually in my future videos that we're going to use this. This is called composing and decomposing numbers to learn how to add and subtract. Because you know when you are carrying the 1, when you're adding, you're actually decomposing a number, and this is a visual way for them to see how you can decompose a number, or you can compose a number by putting the ones together. And this one is just like we are actually building the foundation of that, borrowing a 1 and putting the 1 up there. That's actually, this is the foundation that they're gonna need later on to understand what it means to borrow a 1 or to, and now I forgot to put the 1 on top of the addition. So this is just the foundation, how we compose and decompose numbers into tens or ones. So then once they understand all this and they have used these blocks a lot, I'm gonna go ahead and move on to a different manipulative, that is this one over here. And this one, I like it as well, but after they have used these guys a lot, because here you cannot actually break this apart. So this is a 10, and you can see the little lines. And you can see that if you put 10 ones together, it's gonna form a 10. But I also use this, but I like this better, just because they can actually break them apart and put them together. Now we are doing all this for them to understand numbers. So the last part of the quarter, we're gonna be comparing numbers. And this is actually something that normally they don't have many issues with. But we are going to use the symbols. This is the main misconception, the symbols. These three symbols over here to compare numbers. Okay, so when they're using these symbols, sometimes they get confused because they don't know where the open part should be facing, which direction should be facing. So I always tell them, this one is bigger, here I have 2, and then here I have 1. So this part is bigger, so I'm going to put the big number over here, the small number over here. So if I have 14 and I have 27, I go, which number is bigger? And they tell me 27. First of all, I'm going to ask them why. Why this one is bigger? And they're going to tell me because it has 2 tens, and 7 ones. And 2 tens is more than 1 10. So then, which symbol are you going to use? 14 is, you said that 14 is smaller than 27. So we are going to use the symbol that has the small part pointing at that number. So we're going to use the symbol like this. Because 27 is bigger, so 27 is going to be near the bigger opening. Some teachers tell them, but I normally don't use this much, but it's like a crocodile. And the crocodile wants to eat the big number. And this is the mouth. That helps as well sometimes. Now, so we are going to be using the symbols to compare the numbers. So for example, I'm going to tell them, 14 is smaller, so the symbol is going to be this one, and this symbol, its name is called less than, greater than, let's see if I can spell, or equal to. And of course in my class it's going to be in Spanish, but just to give you an idea. So I'm going to be using those names. 14 is less than 27, or 27 is greater than 12, and 36 is equal to 36. Now the misconception here, because normally this is a pretty easy skill for them, the misconception is going to be when I give them a number like this. 19 and, for example, 31. Why? Because they see a 9 and they see a 1. And to them, 9 is greater than 1, is bigger than 1. That makes sense. But I always tell them that first we have to look at the tens. We start over here, the tens. Which one is bigger, 1 or 3? And then they go, oh, 3. So then this number is greater. So I'm going to go like that. Now, what about if I have a number like, for example, and 26. So first, we look at the tens. Uh-oh, they're the same. Now we move to the next number, the 3 and the 6. Which one is bigger, 3 or 6? And they go, 6 is bigger. Correct. So 23 is less than 26. So that's how we do it. We start with the tens and then we move on to the ones to compare numbers, for them to understand how to compare numbers. So just really quick for you to let me go back to my and I already talked about this a little bit, the misconceptions. The main misconception is that they don't really understand place value, the value of the, and they get the ones and the tens mixed up. That's a really common misconception. And also, like I said before, when they are counting by tens, they continue to count by tens even though when there are no more tens, like they go 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. They forget that these are not a group of 10 anymore. And also, I told you before, skipping the number 70 when counting by tens. That's really common. And when they're comparing numbers, like I was telling you before, when they see a big digit, like 19, the 9, and 31, just because they see a 9, they think that that number is bigger. So just you have to remind them that they have to start looking at the tens first and then the ones to really see the value of that number. So like I told you before, you have these manipulatives available online to practice with your child. And just like if you want to practice at home, just give them, use these manipulatives and tell them to make numbers using cubes and to represent a number in different ways. And also to compare two numbers. You can just use these manipulatives to help them. And first of all, they have to be able to form those numbers using these manipulatives, and then for them to understand the really value of each digit in a number. Okay, I think that's it for today, and I'll see you. This is gonna be the end for this first quarter, and the next video is gonna be regarding the second quarter when things get more complicated. So I'll see you guys in my next video. Thank you so much for watching, and again, if you wanna go ahead and complete my survey, I will really appreciate it. Thank you so much.